Have you ever heard of the expression, keep your friends close and your enemies closer? Today in the Analects of Confucius 5.25, we are going to be looking at this viewpoint which Confucius absolutely disproved of. And here we'll see why. Let's get started. 5.25. The master said, clever words, a pleasing countenance, nervous shuffling. 左丘明 regarded such things as shameful, and I too regarded them as shameful. To act like a friend to a person while concealing your displeasure. 左丘明 regarded such behavior as shameful, and I too regard it as shameful. So we'll split this into two halves. And we'll, right off the bat, let's get started with who 左丘明 was. So he was a very famous historian, and Confucius just included him in this passage just to prove his point, just to prove his claim, because if someone who records history, aka someone who has to find out the motives and can see how history must have repeated itself over and over, then if that person thinks that some kind of action is shameful, then it probably is. And so first we'll get started with clever words. So what Confucius means by that, so clever words are clever as in smart in a deceitful way. Those words and those decorated words that are meant to distract people from the truth and manipulate others or persuade others. And then a pleasing countenance. We've talked about this before, but it was a long time ago. But it's just your outward expression, your facial expression that is meant to hide your true intentions. And also nervous shuffling. Or you can interpret this as extreme respect. So this is too much respect. And yes, you can have too much respect. As in, when the person kind of knows that you're just being fake because this is way too much. And so this too much politeness is meant to hide this person's actual intentions or feelings, which is very important as we get to the next part, the ultimate betrayal, the most important thing in this passage, which is to act like a friend to a person while concealing your displeasure. So essentially, this is just if you hate or just dislike someone, then instead of distancing yourself from them or solving this problem, you decide to act like you're their best friend. So you share secrets with them, you laugh at their jokes, and act as their biggest supporter, while at the same time you're just hiding your displeasure or just planning to sabotage them or manipulate them or use them for later or just to keep an eye on them. And this Confucius regarded as shameful. And the reason for this is because you're essentially both lying to them and to yourself. And one of the most important things in Confucianism is humaneness. And you can't get humaneness without integrity. And you can't really get integrity without not lying and being your true self. And that leads to the next point, which is if you're doing this, then you're living a double life. And you also can't really be sincere about that either. And then imagine if everyone did this. Now, if everyone did do this, then nobody would know friend from enemy, and it would get pretty chaotic. Okay, but we do all have people we don't like. So how are we supposed to act toward them? So you should still be respectful. So that's just the basics of maintaining social harmony. Of course, you don't want to get into a really big argument with them, and you don't really want to cause trouble either. So you either resolve the problem between you guys, or you still maintain respectful in order to maintain peace, and you should be professional and polite in a way that makes you seem respectful without getting too intimate. So distance is great, and you don't have to be mean, but you don't have to be fake either. So you can be straightforward and just create distance, or if you don't want to do that, then just resolve it. But this kind of keeping your friends close and your enemies closer thing is never a good idea. And yeah, that will be all today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!